Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation Next Nation. We're gonna do our review. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me tell you, this one was a doozy, okay? Leticia Scott, you are single-handedly destroying this show. And you'll find out what I mean by that as I go through this review. But before we get started, I need 22 more people to hit the like, hit the subscribe button, especially the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody else who has watched the videos, who has left comments. And I don't just do reality TV. Y'all go and look at some of my hot topic videos because I do have opinions about some of the stuff that is going on in these streets every day, okay? I just do hot topics about once a week because it's so much stuff going on. I just pick a few things I like to talk about and give my opinion on them. And with that being said, everything I'm going to say right now is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. We're going to talk about these streets of Huntsville because this right here, this particular episode, pretty much told me everything I wanted to know about Leticia Scott. And I have found out that Leticia and Kimmy, it has been confirmed to me, allegedly, are probably the biggest problems on this show. Besides two other people who ain't got no business on the show. But let's get started. We're going to start out with Kimmy and Destiny. Kimmy and Destiny are meeting up at Kimmy's office to turn in some paperwork that I guess Kimmy needed to finish what she's doing as far as getting some titles completed for some properties I guess they're selling or have sold. As they're sitting there going through the paperwork, Kimmy with her messy stuff, and Destiny, you a little more street smart. And I know you was picking up with Kimmy leading you in this conversation. Kimmy just kept going back and forth asking you about Leticia. Well, what do you think? And when you was giving her your explanation, I think Leticia's cool. We had a conversation, but she's kind of a friend with Tourette's because she don't know what she's saying and doing half the time. 1 minute she okay, 1 minute she's not, 1 minute she's hot, 1 minute she's cold. Kimmy kept digging in deeper. And the conversation was very, very calm. And for Destiny, who we known to be an aggressive type personality, she was very, very, very low key, toned down, having a grown person's conversation. They set Destiny up for this one. And I'm not a big fan of Destiny, but in this particular episode, I'm like, hey, Destiny didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to call a spade when I see it. So as the conversation continues on, Kimmy brings up the issue with Chris, and she talks about Chris and his license and how she would reach out, but her and Miss Nell is not that close, so she don't really, what to say. But Chris, I guess Chris has to keep in mind that, I guess he needs to, be aware of what he's doing out there, and if he needs any help, I guess she would be there for him. Kimmy is stirring the pot. I watch it. I see it. I've been saying it since the season begun. Kimmy has been stirring the pot, throwing a rock, hiding her hand, and watching to see what happens. Now we know Leticia Scott is Leticia Scott. She's trying to create scenes and all of that, but she's just terrible at it. But Kimmy starts a lot of the stuff and then hides. Because last week she started that whole issue with Marceau and Maurice. If you follow the story, she pumped Maurice up to go over there and check Marceau about getting that property done. That's all I'm saying. All right. Then they swing over to Ken and Will. I don't even know why they even on the show. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Okay. Will is more of a Ken therapist than his friend. I guess his therapist slash advisor. Ken, you have a whole therapist to go talk to whenever you need to get something off your chest about Trish. But you talk to Ken, I mean Will. I understand Will is your friend. But Kim and Trish, I'm sorry, Ken and Trish, just let it go. It's just not working. Now all of a sudden you done moved out, got your own place. Now you're seeing other people. And you saying that you're seeing these people to try to make what Trish jealous to get a reaction out of her. Trish has showed us on several occasions that she is just stoned. she hides her emotions. And that may be her problem with her ex-husband Marquez, because she seems to hide her emotion a lot, and she doing the same thing with you. Why are you testing her? She don't care. She may care, but she's never going to show you. She is too busy hiding her emotions. Um, I guess Will is telling him what everybody else is saying. She is just embarrassing you. And now Ken is finally finding out that Trisha has done nothing but embarrassed him. She has no emotions. And I think Ken is actually enjoying his single life. Kudos to you, Ken. All right. Tisha and Marceau, they go golfing. They start discussing the happenings of what's going on within the family dynamics. And then here we go. Kimmy notifies Marceau that, I'm sorry, Tisha notifies Marceau that Kimmy called her and said her and Destiny were having a conversation about her. Now, we did not hear the phone call, but the way Leticia's talking, Kimmy didn't relay it the way it actually happened. She related as though Destiny was saying something, allegedly saying something bad about Leticia or saying it in a bad way. And I was like, see, there Kimmy go, stirring the pot. Then Marceau was like, well, what did you expect her to say when you said you put her in that don't trust that 304 box? So yeah, she gonna have a problem with you. You put her in that box and you left her there. So Leticia kind of like, well, but I was just playing. Well, Tisha, everybody don't play like that. But now Tisha's riled up because Kimmy done started it off. She done kicked it in. Then he tells her, Marceau discusses his issue he had with Fletcher and the license. And Leticia actually agreed with Fletcher, which I was surprised. She was like, well, he was right. But I also understand what Marceau was saying when he finally said, look, people look up to Fletcher, when they were saying Fletcher mentors people and all kind of stuff like that. So it did kind of make sense. And when we need things done, we may call him for advice and all that. So I understand why they were saying Fletcher is part of the community. And he really is. He really does help people. And I think Kimmy said something like that too. Um, and then he talked about the issue with Reese and the whole thing with he called Reese a sleazy lawyer. Reese threatened him to sue him. And he even said that Kimmy had got on Reese about not getting that property done. And Reese came over and they had an argument. Tisha didn't catch that. Now, your sister-in-law started that argument between the two brothers. Marceau sat there and told you, but that went right over your head because you too focused on Destiny. Okay? Um, I don't know. So she said, well, I hear Destiny's having a listing. I'm gonna go over there and talk with her the next day. Um, Marceau basically told her, he said, hey, when you go over there, he basically said in so many words, don't be embarrassing me. Don't be popping off. Remember who you are. You in the PTA, you do this business, that business. Remember our name out here in the streets. Don't be over there acting a fool at that listing. He trying to keep Leticia calm and get her on the right track. But Leticia wants to be Wanda. Leticia got every bit of Miss Wanda in her, and you see it. She's been hiding and suppressing it for a long time, but it has basically been coming out slowly but surely, and I see it in full force this particular season. I've seen it off and on over, over a period of time during the seasons of the show, but right now Miss Wanda's been activated. We don't even need Miss Wanda anymore because Tisha is acting exactly like her mom. She about to go over there, pop off, create some stuff. She is her mother's child, if nothing else. Okay. He gives her the warning. Of course, she acts like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a conversation with her. But Marceau knows Tisha. He know it ain't gonna go that way. Moving on, Destiny and Miss Nell are sitting there in the spa doing some toxin releases in their bodies with their feet in some kind of water thing and all of that. And they're just having a conversation about what's going on. And you can see their friendship is somewhat trying to rebuild and be somewhat genuine. But what I did notice in that conversation is Destiny saying how long they've been friends and how long they've known each other, which goes back to the Holts. See, I'm like, Destiny, if you've been that cool with Nell all this time because you met her through Martell and all of that, why would you treat the other person the way in which you treated her? When y'all actually been in y'all group in circles for years before these Scots got in there. You let these Scots come in and put that divide, and now your friend is gone. You trying to rebuild with Nell, and the Scots is like they can live with or without you, Destiny. You in a particular spot there. But I will say this. I like the growth in Destiny. I like Destiny is controlling her temper. I like Destiny is trying to get her businesses, going, making her some money, and we actually seeing them doing real estate. Finally, you get to see a little something going on, other than Marceau out there on a one-man show building something. Because I never see a crew with Marceau. But hey, I love Marceau. I'll just keep saying that. Um, and we also learned that Nell and Kimmy, once again, are not close. So y'all ain't never been friends. This is like, y'all come on there in this big ensemble and act like y'all were just such good friends and all that. And come to find out, y'all wasn't really that friends, that close of friends to begin with. So your castmate who y'all hate was the one who brought all y'all together to form this show. So stop playing in our faces, okay? Now, there was a quick scene I'll talk about with Marceau and his daughter. That girl looks just like Marceau, acts exactly like Marceau. I love to see him and Macy together. That was an awesome scene, father and daughter talking. Um, she is definitely her daughter, her father's daughter, for sure. And we need to see a little bit more of that every now and then because Macy has definitely grown up to be a beautiful young lady. And I love to see them two interact. That was a really good scene. Kudos there. Then we get to Trish and Sharon. Trish is telling Sharon's basically everything that Ken is telling Will, that they actually went on dates with other people. They're separated, but they're together. They live in apart, but they're together. But at the end, she kind of mentioned that she actually does love Ken. Well, tell him, Trish, tell him. And Sharon is like, y'all gonna have to figure it out because y'all out here entertaining other people. You talk, you taking breaks, you're not taking breaks. That relationship is so backwards to me. It's not even funny. At the end of the day, we could probably do without them on the show because they are literally confused. And when I say somebody actually need real therapy, them two people need real therapy. I hope their relationship works out, but they need to go get some professional help because it is just crazy to me. Now, the very last scene that I'm going to discuss is the big blow up with Destiny and Leticia. Leticia walks up there to the open house. You can feel the tension as they meet and greet each other in the entrance and get into the kitchen. Now, let me say this about Leticia, okay? Leticia, I have went to bat for you only because I like Marceau. The only reason you probably get the grace that you get from some of the people who watch the show is because we enjoy watching your husband. And I have sat here and watched your husband in so many words on so many scenes tell you to sit your behind down and stay out that mess. And you can't stop doing it. And I know you may think it's good for the show to create the scenes, create the mess, create the drama, set up certain things, but it is just not working. It's making people draw away. You and Kimmy are the kryptonite at this point of this show. So whatever was trying to be saved, y'all are working against it. Y'all are swimming against the tide or whatever. It's like you're trying to save the show, and at the same time, you making us not want to watch you. Everybody on this show has grown, but Leticia. Okay. I joke about Marceau out there on his one man show building the house, but at least he's doing something and showing some type of real estate. Okay. Hopefully he'll close some projects. We see Kimmy in her little office doing her first black title company of Huntsville. Huntsville, kudos to you. We know Mel got her Nell has her childcare business. She's trying to open up a little boutique. Chris is going to his thing. Hopefully it gets better. Hell, even Martell showed up with some blueprints one day about building on some properties. I don't know if it's true, but at least he showed up. Destiny is actually out here listing, selling houses. We seeing her grow. Okay. Now, the other two, Ken and Trisha, I just wish they do something with their gym business, okay? Because they came on the show as athletic people who work out together and they want to be trainers. Let's see y'all open up a brick and mortar gym or some personal training somewhere. Let's see y'all working with clients and making money off that because y'all are still stuck at this relationship thing. Marquez is out the way, so why haven't y'all done anything? Why haven't y'all moved forward with something business wise and a relationship? You can still work on a relationship, but let's see some business because this is supposed to be black excellence and y'all all supposed to be multimillionaires. Okay. But Leticia, you are still stuck in like season 3 or 4. You have not progressed mentally. You still on this petty bull crap. And that's what's hurting it because people don't want to watch it. Even though I like the show, I've been a fan since day one. You irritate me. And I'm a person who likes watching the show. Noticeably missing was Martell. Martell, I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what's up with the producers. I don't know if you've been filmed scenes allegedly they may have cut out because a lot of times they do edit the show and edit scenes out. Maybe that's what's happening. But Martell, your checks ain't gonna look that good this year because we only seen you maybe in 2 or 3 scenes since. But we see the Scots in every scene, every episode. We haven't seen you, Martell. So I don't know if that fight you didn't have with the Scots has hurt you as far as filming with people, but you better figure something out because you got 4 mouths to feed. No, actually 5. I forgot you got the side, but you got 5 mouths to feed. You need to get that money flowing in. And that extra checks you get off that show should help. I don't know if they slowly trying to wean you off the show, but you better start asking questions because you ain't getting a lot of scenes at all. All right. And if this show happened to survive, which I don't know if it will, but hopefully it will. I'm not wishing any bad on anybody. If it happened to survive, Martell, you're going to want to get some more scenes. All right. So let's get into this Leticia and this Destiny thing. So Leticia pulls up to the open house. Okay. She comes in there again. She's acting a little shady. All right. Uh, and I could just say this. I don't know what Destiny and Tisha's big issue is. I just think they never were close friends. I think they just had a common enemy. And once that common enemy has gone, Tisha no longer sees a need for you, Destiny. Because we knew back in the other seasons, Destiny would pop off at the drop of a dime. But this Destiny has calmed down a lot because the energy that Leticia is giving Destiny, Destiny ain't even giving half the energy back to Leticia. Not the Destiny who from season 1 or 2 would have popped off on Leticia. This Destiny is letting Leticia get away with a whole bunch of stuff that she didn't let her previous castmate get away with. She about to pop off. And Destiny just sitting there like, okay. And I ain't never seen Destiny that calm, but I digress. Um, so they go to the open house. Tisha start bringing up stuff from the past. And then Destiny said, you know what, you were just crazy and delusional. Tisha's like, I just don't want you to be talking about me behind my back. And that's just not right. You're supposed to be my friend and you're saying stuff about me. And I'm like, well, how did Kimmy relay this to you, Leticia? Because Destiny's sitting here telling you exactly what she said and how she said it. Well, I just don't understand why you need to do that. You always coming for me and all this stuff. I'm like, Tisha, do you have a comprehension problem? Destiny basically said, here's what I said about you. I said, I don't know. We had a conversation. Everything was good. But sometimes Leticia could be a friend with kind of Tourette's. She's on, she's off, she changes, whatever. That's it. Kimmy must have relayed that message differently because I don't understand how Leticia is so upset about what Destiny said and she didn't say anything that bad. And then Tisha studied going off. Well, you won't be my friend. You don't have to be. And then she started, I've dealt with this before and I'm not going to have anybody in my life that's treating me this way and call themselves my friend and talking about me behind my back and all this stuff. And I'm like, people always coming for me. Now you the victim. This is what she do. She's always the victim. She's always creating a mess and making herself a victim. People have, Tisha has that art of creating a problem, making herself a victim in her own story that she creates. She made herself a victim out of something that Kimmy said, and we still know how Kimmy related to Destiny. But she went over there snapping off on Destiny, and Destiny is like, that ain't how anything was said. I'm trying to tell you in a calm way, and she's still snapping. And I'm just surprised Destiny ain't done nothing. Destiny is like, you know what? That's not what was said. You need to stop making yourself a victim. I didn't say it that way. And then she said it's too much work to try to be Tisha's friends. And they've been going back and forth for, I guess, a while now. So at the end of the day, Destiny, was telling Tisha, come back here so we can talk it off. I'm leaving. I'm sick of this. I don't have anything else to say about it. You just don't talk to me anymore. You're just not my friend. And friends don't do friends like that. And I'm just like, I don't understand how. And I keep going back to Kimmy at this point. What did Kimmy say? And how did she relay it to you? For you to come in there that upset, it's either that or you were trying to create a moment in a scene, because nothing Destiny said to you at that time and relayed to you, even when she told you exactly what she said to Kimmy, required you to be that upset, Leticia. So, Leticia, I see no growth in you. And that's what I mean by when I was explaining to everybody else has moved on, Kimmy with her title company and Nell doing this. You are still stuck somewhere because I see no growth there. You're still mentally stuck in 3 or 4 seasons ago when you was mad at Melanie Cherie. That's what I'm getting out of you. I see that same nasty Leticia from season 5, 6, and 7 that I'm seeing right now. And I'm like, look, all the people on the show has found some way or another to get along and control their temper and not pop off like they used. Even Nell, I'm sorry, I keep calling Mel. Even Nell to slow down a little bit. And you still like there. You acting just like your mama Wanda. Just snapping on people for no reason. Don't want to hear them out. Make yourself the victim. Feel like somebody attacking you. Destiny never attacked you. And again, I like Destiny. I'm not a big fan of Destiny, but I appreciate the growth. I see a different Destiny now, and it's starting to wear on me because I came in like, oof, I can't believe how Destiny did Melody. I ain't never like this. I can't believe that. But now watching her story this past season, I'm not saying what she did was right. And I understand people will always have an issue with her because how she treated her last castmate. I get that. But just watching her this season, the growth, the maturity, her trying to control her temper, her family dynamics. I'm saying I understand why Destiny was so nasty and mean these other seasons because she had other stuff going on and she was deflecting and taking it out on people around her. Was she right? Absolutely not. But I understand it now. Okay, she was wrong the way she treated those people, but I seen where the anger came from. So now I'm like, okay, Destiny has conquered her demons, and she's trying to be a better person, and you still in that bull crap, Tisha. You will single-handedly be the downfall of this show if you don't go sit your behind down. You might need to be in therapy and learn how to talk to people. You keep saying people ain't your friend. You don't know how to be a good friend. You don't know how to sit down and have a conversation with your friend. And it ain't always going to go your way, but have the conversation. And she's like, Tisha, get back in here. Stop running. And Tisha, I'm out of here. I don't want to talk to you no more. And then Destiny said, you know what? I'm done with it. You just a miserable person. And you hit the nail on the head. Tisha is miserable in her own head. She wants to pretend like she got it all together. Her Marcel, something is going on in Tisha's head that makes her miserable. And I don't know if it's a jealousy factor because Destiny's moving on, doing stuff with her life and career. Kimmy's getting her life and career off the ground, and Marceau still ain't got your office ready. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's just something that's still eating her up inside. And it may be regrets as the way she ended her friendship with her old castmate. But who knows? Who knows how Leticia Scott brain is going? But I'm going to say this, and I'll stand 10 toes down this. Leticia Scott and Kimmy Scott will be the downfall of this show if them two heifers don't get their shit together, because you are making people not want to tune in because we cannot continue to watch this toxicity every week when we see other people growing. As much as I talk about Ken and Tish and Trisha, I can live with or without them. They just need to go get therapy and get it together. They're going to be together or not be together. But you guys are veterans. You guys are veterans, and y'all keep the mess going for no reason. We want to see more Black excellence and less Black mess. All right. And with that being said, that is my conclusion and review and recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know. Like I said, Tisha, I'm sure the blog's going to eat you up because that display this Saturday was horrific. It really was. did not make for good TV. It was cringy and horrific. And I don't even talk this bad about you. But again, this is all alleged in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. But my God, I was so disappointed in you this Saturday. You got to do better. All right. And with that being said, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. This is Gen X Nation. May you guys go and have a great. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me remind you once again 22 more people. 22. Okay? Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and may each and every one of y'all go out and have a great rest of your day. This is Gen X Nation. Peace. And as always, I'm out.